Hi everyone, we're back with another episode of Who Said What. I'm Hiba.
And I'm Nira. That's Hiba, I'm Nira. And we have a really good friend of ours, Jeneen, that's here. I met Jeneen a long time ago, 15, 16, 18 years ago, in the advertising industry through a mutual, very good friend of ours, Naveen.
Who was, you've known Naveen for that long?
Yeah, for 22 years.
Oh, okay.
Since I was 2.
Exactly.
Spring chicken.
We're all,
young and
30s.
Exactly. Except me, I'm 22.
So you guys know, which company were you guys at? Which agency?
We never worked together in any agency. Naveen and I worked together, and
I was at JWT.
You're at
and YNR.
Were you in Dubai with...
No, I didn't go to Dubai.
And actually, I remember Jeneen because I know Jeneen from Ashraf more.
Oh, that's right.
But that's after.
That's YNR. But I met Hiba long after. That's true. I met you before, and I didn't meet Hiba for. It took me. We met like much later.
We met much later, and I met
Ashraf. Yes, and then we would go to what's it called? Aperitivo happy hour. Like that would be the thing every night.
Every night.
Well, where was I? Why wasn't I invited?
And it was epic because it was free food, so you could drink and eat all the appetizers.
It was amazing. It was Mark and I, Nadine. We were there all the time.
Timmy, what's his name?
Timmy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sam.
Sam wasn't there all the time.
Not all the time, but it was Timmy, Mark. Oh, Sharif Barakot.
Yes.
Yeah, he was there too. And who else was it?
And we were there. I remember happy hour. They were like little, and it's true. We discovered this, and then we were hooked.
This is the first I hear of it. You guys are such assholes. Heather, you're the asshole.
No, because
she specifically didn't invite me because you're asking me. Like, no.
And Naveen and I would go. We would go and we'd sit at the bar because
Naveen was there.
Yeah, Naveen was there. How did you not know?
No, but by the way,
look yourselves. That's all I have to say. Okay.
There were phases. I mean, you and I hang out more now than we did before. Back then, we didn't hang out as much.
Yep. No, because back then you had a very tight group of friends. So it was you, Mark, Sam. I can't remember who else. Jessica.
Yes, Jessica.
Who was Ashraf's girlfriend?
Yes.
At the time, yeah.
Speaking of Ashraf, it's so funny that she mentions Ashraf.
Are we going to be gossiping about Ashraf right now?
No, I remember because
I can't gossip.
We're not going to gossip because we're talking about dating, right? In Egypt, and I remember. Okay. What?
I remember. We went to, I won't say too many names, but anyways, Ashraf, how we first met him.
Right.
We were with a mutual friend.
Okay.
No. You weren't with me.
Cairo Jazz.
But you were not with me. You were not with me because I remember specifically, I was standing in Cairo Jazz and there was this guy standing at the bar and I had never seen him before.
Who's this hottie?
Who's this attractive guy standing at the bar who doesn't seem like he's Egyptian, but he's like sort of checking out the girls simultaneously, and we totally made eye contact.
Ashraf? Shocking.
I know. He's such a player. He was. And he was with a mutual friend who I used to avoid saying hi to like the plague.
Oh, names. Come on, a first name. I mean, like if it's a Marwa, there are 1,000 Marwas.
No. This is
dead giveaway.
Okay, change the first letter. It's like a Narwa. Like
you kind of just said his name.
Oh, okay.
And
he was the only one he hung out with all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
I know.
Whenever I used to see him, like I used to. And then I'm such a
You're
bitch.
Such a bitch. Because
I went and said hi to him so he could introduce me to Ashraf. I felt so bad.
And this guy was my friend, and Nira's like always like, I don't know why you're friends with him. And then the next day,
goodness. There, I said it.
And then the next day, she's like, you know who I ran into? I met this guy yesterday that was with your friend, so and so. I was like, oh, the one that you never like to say hi to and you avoid. She's like, yeah, but he was too cute, the guy he was with, so I had to go say hi.
I did, and he introduced us, and then Asha.
Speaking of those times, Cairo Jazz Club was the best place.
It was right. This was right before the revolution. I mean, everything was so much fun to go out, and there wasn't any bad night spot. It was before the yes, it was. It was right before.
But you know what's funny is that before, when I used to go to Cairo Jazz Club, I hated it. Before going to Jazz Club, I don't know. There was a period when I hated it, and everybody would be like, "Let's go to Cairo Jazz Club. It's brilliant. It's so much fun." I'd be like, "That place is for social rejects." I used to be like, "That place is for social rejects. I'm not going to be seen there." And then one time I went out with my friend, who we used to party together like crazy.
Yes, I remember.
We were good, like, party animals, partners. We were like good drinking partners. And I went out with him one night, and he dragged me there, and I met this guy, and it was so much fun. After that, I was hooked.
Who's this guy that you met?
I became the
names.
Cairo
Read
jazz
names.
addict, and I was like,
If you're not gonna tell
oh
us
my
who
god,
it is.
especially 80s night. Was it Wednesday nights? It
Yes.
was 80s
Yes.
nights.
What Tuesday?
I think it was Wednesday
Wednesday,
night.
Wednesday.
Because Wednesday night at that point was still the hot day to go out. That was the hot night to go
yeah.
out, Wednesday nights.
And that was basically up until, like you said, the revolution, up until
Yeah.
2011.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
But Cairo does. I remember my ex Rami used to go all the time, and I'm like, dude, you can go on your own because Cairo Jazz is just not my.
But it was happening then.
But the thing is, it was one of those places where the people were really odd, and if you didn't go with a quite a big group of people,
Yeah.
you're mishmashing, and then the people look at you are weird, and then I hated the bathroom there. The moment I had to go to the bathroom, I would just go.
Oh my god, I loved it. I became like a major convert of the Cairo Jazz because
Rami used to go. He's like, we're going to Cairo Jazz. I'm like, go on your own. I'm going out with my friends, and then I got converted. I think right after you, and I used to love going because you're going in your sweatpants. or
no, I
whatever.
got dressed up.
But you didn't have to. That was the nice thing about Cairo Jazz. You really could go in sweatpants.
Oh no, I got all.
Until today, you could still go in sweatpants.
I went all decked out, ready to party and ready to dance on those 80s tunes.
Remember the flaming Lamborghinis? The flaming Lamborghinis.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and the B-52s. Oh, and the one, that's with the long straw. That was like a really big thing in Egypt for a while.
B-52
I know.
is the straw that used to catch on fire.
Yes.
I don't know.
But what was the one with the really long straw? What cocktail was that? They'd set it on fire and like you drank it through a really long straw.
Was it in a martini glass or is
Yes, it was in a martini.
That's a flaming Lamborghini.
the flaming Lamborghini.
Oh, we used to do a lot
Oh my
of those.
god,
What
my
night?
30s was nothing but flaming Lamborghinis. Like,
Yeah. Flaming Lamborghinis and other extracurricular activities that we will not talk about. But actually, then I realized Cairo Jazz Club is the only place you can go. Well, I used to be pretty drunk then. So there was like no judgment. I felt like you could do whatever you
Oh, yeah,
wanted.
there
was
was no
nobody,
judgment.
everybody else was like,
There wasn't
their
actually.
face.
There was no.
no, there was no judgment going to Cairo Jazz. That's what made it so
it
fun.
was fun.
That's why I started to like it. Actually, is that you're really. It's not who's gonna look at you and criticize the way you look.
And
all
at the
that stuff.
time, it was less of the people that you knew. Like before, remember when you went to
Yes.
Aperitivo and these places, it was like, oh, you knew what to
Everybody.
expect. and
Everybody.
You knew
Yeah.
who you're going to run into. And I loved that part about Cairo Jazz Club. It was like there was the element of surprise.
That's true. But you know, ever since people have moved to October and there are all those October places to go out, now there's an element of surprise when you go out here.
Yes, it's true.
But
do you go out?
I have.
Do you go out often?
I go out. I'll go to like Crimson or like, of course, the pub because you know the pub is always going to be the pub. It doesn't matter who goes there. You're still going to go to the pub.
Yeah.
And-
Oh yeah, and I ran into you last
Yeah,
time.
yeah, that's right. The last time when I was fighting with the waiters about the tables.
Yeah. And Jessica had come to visit, and that's when I remembered because Jessica
She
was
doesn't
like,
live, she doesn't live here. I thought she still lived here.
no, of course not. She's been gone for like 10 years.
Oh,
and then
okay.
when we saw you, she's like, I said, oh, there's a friend of mine now. I have to go say hi. She's like, that's Jeneen, right? I was like, how do you know?
Asha,
And then
of
I was like,
course.
oh my
Yeah.
God, yes, of course. That's how I know Jeneen. But yeah. And you were
Wow.
doing the rebranding of Rigoletto at the time, weren't you?
Yes, because Jessica was the one working on the design.
The
of
little,
animals.
yes,
the icons.
okay,
The animals.
okay,
Yeah.
that's right.
The brand mascots.
Oh wow,
Small.
she did that?
Yeah. Because she was dating Ashraf at the time. Ashraf was MD YNR.
Yeah.
And I was creative director. And so I had come up with the concept. Najla approved it because Najla owned Rigoletto. And then we got Jessica to do the characters. And then
The illustrations.
yeah,
yeah.
and we did little Facebook profiles for them, and they had little voices. I was writing them. It was very schizophrenic. It was fine.
See, that's what we should have done. 4 or 5 days. That's what we wanted to do. Remember?
What?
With each character.
How many times did we tell all the people to do that and they never did?
Yeah. for
Well, I
some
worked
reason,
with
it's
you guys too on 4 Fat Ladies.
It was like going on deaf ears. Is that the expression?
Yes,
Landing on deaf ears or whatever.
was fine. We're in Egypt. That's close enough. That's good. That doesn't have to be spelled.
But yeah,
no one's gonna notice.
We worked together. Oh my God, that was so funny.
Which
Remember?
one?
We worked together and for Fat Ladies
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Yeah, when you guys were in Yemema Center.
Yes.
yeah. And we wanted to rebrand the names
And the
and
slogans
remember
you came up with?
and the slogans, they were so much fun. And when we told the guys, they were like, they looked at us like we were like crazy or something. They were like, what are these names? Nobody's going to understand it. Nobody's going to get it. But we should have gone with it. And there was one, there was like some really funky names. And they were
we had the bundle.
That.
That was so much fun. Remember we had like the breakup kit and we had the hangover bundle and
those were brilliant.
That bundle that was very sexual in wording though.
Maybe there was the G-spot.
The G-spot.
I remember that.
And Sameh, he told me, he's like, what's the G-spot? I didn't know he didn't know what it was. And I was like,
oh,
I
his
looked
poor
like
wife.
And I, well, he totally ate G-spot though. But then I kind of said, well, look it up. And then when he looked it up, he thought we were wacko. He's like, what, you guys are going to come up with, I don't know, he was like livid. Remember? He was like, look at us like you guys are wacko.
I think he's livid because he doesn't know where the G-spot is. Maybe that's why he was livid.
Maybe that's what it is. But
he listens.
Up your
tell you where it
butt.
is. It's not on Google Maps.
So wait, you guys hung out a lot drinking.
No,
Yeah.
not really.
I mean,
A lot
At
more
what
than
at
me.
aperitivo? Yes, we
Yes.
were a small crowd. We'd always be there at the same time, and it was early on. It was
everybody was drinking. Everybody was
6 p.m.
hanging out.
7.
Yeah, 6 p.m. to like 8. So it was everybody was drinking early.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
Yeah.
because I had become friends with Mark at the time. Well, I had been friends with Mark
Was
for a
Anwar
while.
still here at the time?
Who?
Anwar was still
Yes,
here.
I think he was. And that was the time where, I was introduced to Mark. So before Mark,
Right.
I was always fashionably late, and Mark is so German, so he's like one of my best friends. But
Yeah, because
but
I remember I always see you with Mark. You guys would start off, it would
Always.
be Hib and Mark. And then
I would
the others
always
would
come late. Okay, for
Yes.
me, I was used to that. In Egypt,
Right.
you walk in like 30 minutes, an hour late. And one time, him and
Nine! You can't do that.
he gave me such a lecture. He's like, listen, when we say 7, we mean 7. We don't mean 8. So bring your ass on time. So since after that, like now, I'm like, because of him, I'm always like, when I say a time, I mean that time.
Well, we should thank Mark Khalifa for turning you around
I know.
No, and Mark says
I was really
and
bad.
making a timely woman of you.
I know, exactly.
That
It's
she gets
really
so
bad.
pissed off at me actually.
And I get so pissed off at Nira because Nira has no concept of time. When she says 8, it's like 9 or 10
You?
or 11. Well, unless it's something
odd.
that she's going to benefit from, then yeah, she'll be there on time.
my God.
But with me,
But that's a good. You know what? That's just sound thinking.
No, it's odd though because sometimes I'm really good with timing. With if I have to drive and all.
Right.
I think it's the driving thing. If I have to drive somewhere, then most of the time I'll leave on time and I'll be there on time. But when it's in Zamalek
You can,
and I
like,
live right
yeah.
there, she's like, "Near, when you're coming over?" I'm like, "Yeah, give me 30 minutes." 30 minutes turns into an hour, easily.
That's not bad though. That's not really late.
Yeah, but
what Nira doesn't understand. No, also too is like when you have kids, you have a husband. So
Yeah,
as he
people don't
walks
understand
in-
that. Why did you do that to yourself?
I keep telling her that, but it's okay. They're cute.
By the way,
Twice.
I'm not subjected to only my moods. There's
Right.
other people's moods. So Nira will come in like literally right 5 minutes after Hazem walks in from work. He's tired. I don't know what. He doesn't want to see anybody.
Right.
So if Nira comes in, ding dong, and I'm like, yes, Nira. I said, weren't you supposed to be here 2 hours ago? And then she's like, okay, fine. She gets so sensitive. Fine, I'll leave. I was like, no, that's not it. But yeah,
She feels to see how she says it to me.
well, you're my sister. It's
Yeah.
not like
Okay.
telling
So if I get sensitive because she snaps at me, I'm just like, I'll
Yes,
leave.
but she's tired. She's married with 2 kids. We're single. We've been sitting all day, like
What she doesn't
eating grapes.
seem to
2 kids and a husband.
And
what she
husband.
doesn't
Yes.
seem to understand is she thinks I'm being sensitive, and I really don't mind going back to my room and sitting in front of the TV. I really
So next time I'll do that.
Exactly.
Like, okay, I'll go home. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Click.
Get out. Exactly.
But yeah, so you both are not married.
We're not married.
So you guys get to, I get to live vicariously through the two of you. So I want to know what is
Such exciting lives.
Nira, we haven't had an update on Nira's,
Since
love
Valentine's
life,
Day?
and sex life since Valentine's Day.
Oh,
And you,
yeah.
I mean, we want to know, because we were talking about it. Nira seems to, well, I don't know very much about Nira's dating life.
Right.
But Nira seems to date a lot of younger men and seems to be really into the 20-year-olds.
No. What am I, a cradle robber? How about what the hell? I'm like half my age.
So Nira's a cougar. So how technically a cougar
Well,
makes
how old are
like-
you?
46.
No, you're a Thundercat, technically.
Baby.
Yeah.
What's a Thundercat?
Thundercat is apparently what you are over 45. You have auntie at the 20s, You have Auntie Cougar in the 30s, and then like 35 to 45 is Cougar, and then 45 upwards is Thundercat, which I think is way cooler. I'd rather be a Thundercat than a Cougar.
It's not like a superhero, like, you know, like
No, right?
Shira, like
Okay, no, but wait. So, but Thundercat means that you're dating anybody younger than you, or anybody.
I mean, significantly younger.
What's significantly now? Because you know how it's become blurred now. Because
I don't know.
First of all, before that, younger. I dated a guy once that was, and I had no idea. You remember? I had no clue how old he was. I thought he was kind of I thought he was my age. I could tell he was younger.
He was so much younger than you, Heba.
Fuck you.
He has immaturity, like.
Oh wait, but that's not fair. Age and immaturity have nothing like
Exactly.
There's nothing converse about that.
Exactly, that's true. But he was, I think, when I found out, he was born in 84 or 85.
Oh, he was still born in the 1900s, as my nephew and niece say.
Yeah.
So he wasn't that much younger.
No, because I got the shock of my life because I'm like, he was gorgeous. Anyways, so I'm thinking this guy
Like
is
a whore and dating half the women in this country.
Did he? I didn't know that because I didn't know him that well.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yes, but which ones aren't whores?
The men, well, you know, it's.
You have the horse on this
A lot of them
side,
are.
and the other side is like the religious aisle. I mean, I can't do it. It's
there doesn't seem to be any happy
no,
medium.
there's no middle ground.
No,
Yeah.
but it's weird because you guys sometimes you have the guys that are really like, I don't mean whorish in ways, but they're really like out there. But then all of a sudden they start talking about religion, and I'm just like, I'm confused. Which one
Yes,
is
they're
it?
either
No,
whores
because-
dating raisinets or they have raisins on their heads.
No, but by the way, they could be. I don't know how you define whores, male whores. They're just
They're out there. They're everywhere. They're like dating.
okay,
left
but
and
they're
center.
also religious. Doesn't mean that they're religious because for them, men, they don't think that there's anything wrong with them being.
Agreed. I
Like-
totally agreed.
Since they can have 4 wives, I'm sure that there's no problems for them having like tons of girlfriends.
4, like you want one? Like why would you want?
Oh my
4?
God! You know the guy? But you know
I
the
don't
guy,
get it.
The last guy I dated.
But I think that's on the decline because life is too expensive now. I don't
Exactly.
think men
You
can
can't
afford to have more than one wife.
Exactly.
No, no,
they
but-
can barely afford one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the guy, the last guy I dated actually, because I put it out there because
He was younger than you.
He was younger than me. He was in it by how many years?
7 years probably.
6.5 actually. 6.
Yeah, that still doesn't make you a Thundercat. That's within range.
That's still within
That's
range.
within
Okay,
range,
thank
yeah.
God.
Oh, okay.
So it's like 10.
Boring,
that would
then.
make you Thundercat. So if I dated somebody that's what in their early 30s.
So
Probably, yeah.
You should aspire to be a Thundercat now.
Hell no, but it's like there was this guy a couple.
No,
of years
continue
ago.
your story with this guy you said, your ex.
But let
You
me
were
talk
saying
about the other guy, and then I'll talk. There was this guy that was like 32 that started talking to me, and this was a few years ago.
Okay.
It just seemed so weird. He would talk to me, and then the 32-year-olds have this. I don't know what's wrong with the younger generation. There's this thing with them sending pictures, and I'm just like, I don't want to get pictures.
kind of pictures?
Okay, wait.
You know what kind of pictures I'm talking about?
Back up,
What?
girl.
What?
do you mean?
Why? Why?
What pictures?
Why? Man, we do not find this attractive. Stop. Don't do it anymore.
Dick pics.
Oh, that's disgusting. Are you serious?
Dude, I know guys who carry that shit on their phone and are like proud to whip it out and show you. Like, no,
do you get
thank
dick
you.
pics too?
No. I've never gotten
Yeah, I
one.
think it's a problem with you.
And no, but she's right. Guys talk about it like, oh yeah, I sent her a dick pic. And why would you do that? It's not even attractive.
Okay, they're younger guys. They're dum-dums.
Oh no, even the older ones. No. Even the older ones. I mean, that's more of a reason to
right.
send me one. Like, really?
Seriously?
Seriously.
Okay,
Heba,
what's the-
it's such
Okay,
a
no,
freak,
wait.
by the way. She's just like, if I told her this alone, she'd be like, I don't know what kind of guys you're dating or what
no,
you
no.
are doing, Mira, to get
It's the
this guy.
entire, yeah.
Okay, wait. I'm confused now. I need some background on this. Okay, so have you been with a guy who's like sent you dick pics?
No, I will not. If they start talking
But if
about
they
it.
do, what would
God,
you do?
no, I've never been with a guy that sent me a dick pic. I would, oh my God, I'd laugh.
That small?
Probably.
That's pretty small.
I'm so
Laugh.
sorry.
I mean, come on. Even, up live in person, it doesn't look attractive. You think I want to keep a picture of it? No.
Oh, no. And not only do they send you pictures, but you know on WhatsApp that you can do that thing where you send the picture.
boomerang?
No, Heba.
Oh, the disappearing messages.
You send, like on WhatsApp, there's that little circle that says
Yeah.
one. So if you send the picture, you open it. So if I receive that picture, I can only open it one at a time and it's gone.
Oh, see how smart they are, huh? the sneaky
Yeah,
little
so they-
fucks.
so-
He
yeah,
sends it
there's
to you. You should post it online. When somebody, this is a guy you've been dating for a while, or this is a guy you just met that sends you a dick pic. What's the situation here? Give me context here. I'm confused. So you go out on a date with him, you back home, he sends you dick pic at the end of the night. What does he do?
Who said anybody went out on a date with?
No dates كمان. ده بنوسخة. بنوسخة يعني حقير. يعني no.
He didn't pay for dinner. He just sent a picture. I mean, what right does he have?
Okay, maybe, yeah, the guy who's gonna take you out for a date is not gonna send you a dick pic,
Drinks and
maybe.
stuff like that. But
Okay, so he takes you out for drinks?
But the way it happened was it was so organic how it came out of him. It was just like
What do you mean organic? How it came out of his pants?
I was just gonna say, is that
Flipped
a
out?
how he sent the picture. You know,
That's a picture. Oh, you were sitting with him.
No, I wasn't sitting
Okay.
with him. No,
Context.
He took the
girl.
picture.
I'm at home, wherever I am. I get a picture, and it's like,
What was your response?
Yeah, what's your response? And how is it after a date? Like, do you know this guy? How well do you know him? Have you had any kind of, physical kind of?
no physical.
Okay, so
But this is it's you'd be surprised how many guys they just
But
send them.
How
They
did you
want.
respond though? What did you say to him?
I was just like, okay.
You didn't laugh like.
The thing is, I
Wait,
laugh
no, like,
on my own in the room. I'm laughing. I'm like, I don't even know how to respond to this. And the thing is, it's like when a guy comes over, like you're like out, and the guy all of a sudden comes over, he tries to kiss you, and you're too embarrassed to say like, oh God, no, and so you end up kissing them, but you don't really want to kiss them.
yeah, that happens a lot. That's happened before, but the
Because you
dick
don't
pic is
embarrass
different.
Oh, I embarrass him all the time. I had a guy in a car hold my hand after a date and start kissing it, saying, "Oh, I was such a good time." I started laughing my ass off. I'm like, "What are you doing? This is so retarded."
Really?
Yeah. He was trying to be romantic. I was like,
No,
"Stop
nobody.
licking my hand."
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
You've been out of the dating scene for how long, Heba?
Very long.
Okay.
So tell me, so what did you tell this?
so-
What did you tell this guy? What's his name? No, I don't want to know his name. Tell me, what did you do?
But I guess I must not have told him like I was insulted because they just kept coming until I just kind of like blocked him.
They kept coming.
Until I blocked him, yeah.
No pun intended.
But yeah, no, and there are other people that send, and you're just kind of like, oh my God, like this.
So are these the younger guys you said? But you said not only the younger guys, the older guys do that too.
Well, I don't know about.
Yeah, the older guys.
So all men have gone to
She could vouch for the older men. and I can.
My guy friends will like boast about it. I'm like, do you think this is attractive? And to younger girls and to younger girls.
Maybe that's what I think the problem is, by the way. The issue is with the younger girls. And I mean the younger girls that are like 15, 20 years younger than us.
Yeah, like they're 5.
This is normal. They're just out of diapers. This is normal. Obviously, these girls send pictures as well.
Really?
Absolutely.
That's true because they tell me that the girls will send pictures. Yeah, I mean, social media has changed everything. The way that people, they don't realize there's a digital imprint, right? So like once it's out there forever.
Seriously?
Yeah, the girls will send stuff all the time. And they'll tell me. And I don't understand personally like how that is what kind of courting ritual is this? Like
I don't.
It's social media courtship.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's courtship. It's obviously like
No, I mean,
wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
no, but I remember there was this younger girl that was talking to me, and she seemed a bit traumatized, and then she didn't want to tell me what happened. So I kind of, feeling it out. I'm like, did you by accident send a compromising picture to the guy?
By accident? How can you send a
Not
picture by accident?
I'll tell you why. By
you know how you butt dial?
and leave voice message.
Yeah.
I'm like, did you send a? Because the guys ask the girls to send pictures.
Yes, they do.
They ask them,
Yeah,
and the
they
girls
do.
do it.
Yeah.
The girls do it, and then so I kind of looked at her and I said, next time, just make sure.
But
your
sometimes
head
the
isn't
guys,
shut.
sometimes, the girls will just do it. Will
themselves.
initiate. Yeah, the younger generation is quite ballsy.
Quite very ballsy.
Yeah, they'll do stuff that we didn't do.
I wish I could send you guys a picture of Heba's expression right now. She looks completely and utterly shell-shocked.
And
Like,
because I didn't know that. I was
Our
very confused about
generation
that.
in Egypt, we started out smoking in bathrooms because smoking in public was kind of frowned upon, right? Or if Christians and Muslims were dating, it was like, they're dating, but one's Christian and one's Muslim, don't say anything. And now it's like girls are sending and initiating, naked
going to the
pics.
bathroom to do lines of cocaine instead of smoking cigarettes,
Yeah, but I mentioned this before. I was kind of slutty in that sense. I smoked cigarettes in public and I drank in public. But that I was
But
so slutty.
compared to the new generation, Heba, you're like a baby.
No, but I am actually, I have to say, I'm pretty conservative when it comes to the dating thing, the man, woman.
Right.
I'm maybe a little, I'm pretty outdated probably in that sense.
I don't think you're outdated. I think I think that's actually, it's a shame that the male female roles are no longer respected, and there's a blurred line where men are not acting like men, but because women are not acting like women, it's not like men are assholes and women are innocent, right? Or women are bitchy and men are innocent, but there's this kind of dynamic where like
Women are quite ballsy. They'll go.
oh yeah, I mean I had a guy friend tell me once, why would I ever get off my ass and court a woman when there are like 15 other women running after me? And to be honest with you, he had a point. And he doesn't have to do much to get them either. It's not like there's anything really that they,
But there's this guy I follow on Instagram and his name is Jake Woodward, I think. And he talks about that a lot. And I can completely relate because you know how I think more men have become in the feminine and more women have become in the masculine.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel it too, like if I'm working too hard and doing too much, you kind of become, I feel first of all, less attractive, less sexual. It's funny how like when you take on those roles, and I think it's becoming a problem because I think a lot of people, and he obviously, there seems to be a problem, he has a huge following about how men should take more the lead with women.
Of course.
And women like to be led and women like to be courted and women like to be spoiled. And women, I mean,
but women also don't make that easy because so the day in the pub when I ran into you last time, right? You saw me fighting with the waiter for tables. I was there with two guy friends, right? Mm-hmm. And the pub was crowded as usual. And so our table was kind of drifting off into the corridor. So it's going to get hit every time people are walking by. So we want to move it in again, Joya. So two guys are with me, right? And they're talking to the waiter, right? And they're handling it. My masculine ass has to get in and interfere and start arguing with the waiter. What did the guys do? They backed off, right?
Yeah, of course.
But they backed off because I stepped in. And it was really sad because I was like, why am I doing this? There are two guys here that are talking with the waiter. Why am I going in and having a conversation when I don't need to be doing this and getting myself riled up, and B, I look like a jackass. So like, let them handle it. But I think min kutro we do things ourselves and for ourselves, it's automatically like we step up and we just kind of like decide we're going to take a lead.
I think what it is we are independent women.
Yeah.
We've worked all of our lives.
Yeah, not by choice though to be independent. Sometimes, I mean, it's nice to be independent, but I think there's a certain point where it's not a choice. It's kind of like life threw this at you, so
you
continue.
have to.
Yeah, continue.
It's true. I mean, we had that situation when my parents got divorced and we were kind of on our own. And we went to college in the States on our own. But you kind of get used to that.
Yeah.
You get used to doing things for yourself.
Yes.
And there is also that whole, worldwide movement about women trying to be more independent and all that. And I think,
fuck feminism. Can we just say that on the podcast?
Yes,
really,
of course.
fuck feminism. Love the feminine, hate the ism. Really.
Thank you. Exactly.
I agree.
Yeah.
Oh my God, spot on.
But it's true.
Yeah.
Because it's true. It's nice. I think I'm completely for a woman being financially independent and trying to and be her own person,
being treated equal,
but
all of that stuff.
Doesn't mean that you have to take on all those other roles. And I think because you have that shoved down your throat, but you feel like if you don't become the very the woman who does everything, who does a million things. First of all, I think you get criticized now when you don't.
Of course.
Like when I used to try to take a step back and let other people do things at work. See, you're not hardworking enough. You're not. I was like, why the fuck do I have to do everything? I'm not I'm a human being. Everybody I want to delegate my whole life to somebody else. But anyways, it's true. And then you become, and then you get this thing where when somebody's not going to do something for you, you're like, fuck it, I'll do it myself. As opposed to being patient.
Of course,
exactly.
It's just easier.
And I think it's always good, especially with when you're married, when you're in a relationship, you should kind of go against that instinct a little bit and have the guy just do certain things.
And that's how I think this is also how men feel needed, because when you give them space to actually, take on their role, they like it.
And they step up.
Yeah, they totally will step up. The good guys really do step up. And I think that the good guys want to step up, but it's just that we got to step down, like step back. Just step back and give them a chance to like.
And for any of the men listening, you guys need to lead more. I mean, when we do things, we're doing things not because we want to do them a lot of the times. We do them because we feel like don't want to be so much of a burden. But at the same time, we do like when the man takes
and
initiative.
I love when a guy opens the door for me.
Oh, me too.
Love it when a guy pays for dinner because you asked me out, jackass.
Do they do that now? Do they go Dutch? You guys
They'll go Dutch.
Seriously?
Yeah, they'll go Dutch. I mean, for me, that we're done. Like when they go Dutch, we're done. Like
that's the last date.
Yeah, that's the last date. The first date becomes the last date, and it's not about money. It's about, again, it's the role of, a man and a woman, and it's not. Why is it important that he pays? It's because, okay, so go back to evolutionary history, right? Like men are hunters, women are gatherers. Can you imagine on a date if some hunter said, okay, you go hunt your food, I'll go hunt mine? What the fuck is that?
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck is that?
It's true.
Yeah.
And we're like doing a million other things.
Exactly.
I totally.
But also I think sometimes
go find my own lion. What the fuck is that? Go kill my lion, asshole.
But there's certain experiences that make you kind of like, I went out, like this guy asked me out on a date one time, and so I ordered a glass of wine. It was, where was I? I was at Tabasco. We're going way back.
Oh yeah, okay.
24 years ago?
Oh my.
And yeah.
When you were 4.
I was 2 actually.
Mira, I thought you were in your early 20s. Now it seems like you're in 30s.
And then I remember, so I ordered my drink and he ordered a club soda. And I said, okay, fine. He drinks, by the way. Imagine what he said to me next.
No, I can't. What did he say?
A club soda? And you ordered a club soda.
I ordered a wine.
You ordered a wine. And he ordered...
What could he have said?
I changed my pants and I forgot my wallet and my other pants that I was wearing. I went...
Did you leave your balls there too, honey?
No, but maybe that's nice. Maybe that's why he ordered club soda. He didn't want you to pay too much.
No, please, you're trying to tell me a man leaves his house without even 100 pounds in their pocket? 200?
Yeah, at the time it wasn't more than 100 pounds.
Was he a regular at Tabasco?
He could have paid the tab later.
He could have laid the tip. Exactly.
But
he could have paid the tab later.
Those were the good days.
I was just like, don't worry, I can pay for my drink. He's like, I think you just had enough for the club soda. Come in.
The whiskey.
No. It was just...
Yeah, cheapness is not attractive at all. And they're cheap across the board. It's not only financially, emotionally, they're very cheap as well. Like they're not giving and they're not very emotionally forthcoming. So people think cheapness has to do with money.
No.
It has nothing to do with money. It's an attitude.
It's a personality.
Somebody old school told me something. This is like an older generation, much older generation. She said to me, and this is true, by the way, and I find it true in business as well. When you don't let a man or somebody invest in you, they don't value as much.
Moms, you know what? I think our moms' generations always used to say that, and I'd roll my eyes.
Me too.
But you know what?
It's true.
They're spot on right.
Oh yeah. Because it's true. I mean, if a guy is basically if a guy's gonna marry you and invest in you, and
absolutely.
Yeah, it's like invest. I hate to say that, but basically he's not that he's committing to the relationship. That's what it is.
It is.
He's
it is a
committed to the
commitment
relationship.
because and for a guy to emotionally invest, he needs to kind of get off his ass and make an effort. Otherwise, there's no reason for him to do it. Seriously, there's no reason for him to do it.
Yeah.
And that's why they say, well, if you've been with a guy for so long and then like you don't. You give to everything easy to him, well then he's not going to marry you. It's not about, I think the way that's always been put has been kind of wrong, but it is, a guy gets comfortable where he's at, and so if he's there, he has no reason to move forward. I mean, all these women who think the urban myth of no, he's going to get shit together and want to marry me and be with me, and no, that's not how it works.
Yeah, life's not a movie. That's what I used to say.
God, no. It's a nightmare.
It's not like you're dating Ben Affleck or something. And he's going to change his mind.
And then this other guy dated.
Your house fiascos.
Oh, I have major fiascos.
Please tell us.
He didn't drink. So when we went out. He didn't ask me out on a date. He's like, let's go out for drinks and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, sure, let's go out for drinks. I'm not expecting for him to pick up the tab, by the way, because
why?
Because this was not a date.
Okay.
This was not a date.
But he asked you out.
It was more of like, what are you busy? Let's go out for drinks and stuff like that.
He asked you out.
Like after work.
You're on the clock. He asked you out.
Okay, fine. But the problem is with somebody like that, I'm sitting with him and he doesn't drink for religious reasons.
Now, why the fuck is he taking you out?
The thing is, I can't expect him to pay for my
You
drink.
drink, you smoke up, and you get dick pics. You're the wrong person for him to be asking out.
This is a long time ago. So, but it was one of those things. Something like that. I was worried about taking him out with my friends, because when I go out with my friends, their boyfriends and their husbands always split the bill amongst each other.
Okay.
No way he would have paid the bill. No way he would have accepted to split the bill, because
But
my
why,
friends
though?
and I, because we drink. We drink.
Okay.
So it's
But that's fine. But he can always say, "I'm happy to pay for anything but the drinks." Was there food?
He never ended up going out with me and my friends, though.
And never again. That was the last
so
time.
we're moving way ahead. So
Who is this guy?
We dated for what's
Oh,
his
you
name?
dated. Okay.
No, me and him were dating.
Okay. No, you said he just took you out. He just
No,
took you out.
that was I
was
paid
the
that
first
one.
time.
That was the first time, and then afterwards.
And then after that, he.
But I never drank when we used to go out.
Okay.
I didn't feel I wanted him to pay for my alcohol.
Was he younger than you?
I think a year.
When did you start dating younger men?
I think a year younger than me.
well, that's not younger. That doesn't count. That's not younger.
Always. I can't remember if I dated anybody that was older than me.
The male brain matures at 43. This is scientifically
Really?
yes.
Oh my God.
I'm married to somebody who's over 40 and 43.
There you go. You married a mature guy. He had
No, now he's over 43.
Oh, now okay.
Yeah, I didn't marry him then.
Well, now
By
he's
the way,
mature.
she's one to talk. Her husband is younger than her.
Yeah.
Hazem is younger than you.
Yeah.
I would have never guessed.
Husband is younger than me.
Oh, really? How old is Hazem?
He's born in 1980. He's 4 years younger than me.
But he's still in the 1900s, so he's not that young.
Yeah, he's not that young. It's fine.
He's 2.5 years.
But actually, okay, so like going back to the whole thing about marrying somebody, I used to always imagine myself marrying somebody older. I always wanted to marry.
I think we all
older
did when we
guys.
were younger.
Well, it's true.
Yeah.
Because you always want somebody like to take care of you. Oh my God, we're like so like, I feel like so outdated. We're like in the like fairy tale era. But my ex-husband was 2 years older than me. So
Okay,
he's basically my age.
right.
Hazem's 4 years younger than me. And then, but now sometimes when I see friends of mine who are, because technically we're like almost 50, right?
Right.
And I have friends.
450. Go ahead.
No, we're not. And so when they're dating men that are older, they're basically 60. And I feel so bad. I'm kind of like,
I can't get on that train.
thank God
You know,
I'm not marrying. I'm married to somebody young.
Look, there are some people, there are exceptions to this rule, right? So like there are people that are exceptions to the rule. But in general, I find that men over 45 are incredibly painful to be around because they gripe about everything. They don't want to do anything. They're so depressed. They're hormonal. It's like, dude, I mean, am I PMSing or are you? Like, what's wrong? What's going on? This is, it's like, seriously, get your shit together. There's so, it's like they decide.
They're premenopausal.
They are. It's really, they are. And I don't understand why. It's not like, it's not, life still has a lot, going on. But I think men handle aging worse than women do. And we don't talk about that.
Oh my God, I'm handling aging very badly.
Oh, well, so am I. My vein is fuck. And I'm going to, the whole, what on the inside's what counts? No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck that shit. I get
I'm
life.
handling it very well. I don't mind. I'm okay. It's
Oh,
fine.
good for you, but I mind it
No.
big time.
No, yeah. I don't handle it well either. I'm not going to do that all gracefully shit. There are doctors. There are options.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna get there at some
Filters,
point.
people.
Filters, yes.
I'll eat
because
gracefully.
what's horrible is that I look at myself in the mirror and I always say, I look great. I look fine. I don't look so old. And then I see myself in a picture and I want to
I know,
die.
right? And it's
I'm
like, what's this?
That's not what I saw in the mirror. What the hell? I mean, I look literally older than my age, I feel, in pictures.
Yeah, it's pictures of pictures are
Horrible.
Pictures are, yeah.
You see the
Pictures show
lines
everything.
and the-
yeah, you see
Oh, my
you
God.
see things. It's like, you know what it is? It's like at 47 something happens and there's a trigger on like biology and it like, those time-lapse photos when you watch like a flower bloom really fast? Suddenly it's
And
like
shrivels.
It's like suddenly you're going downhill or what the fuck is this? What's this? And what's that? And
That's like Tangled, that cartoon that Nina watches,
not a
with
cartoon,
the
it's
flower.
an animated
movie with the flower that kind of like after like a certain age. Oh my God,
that's
yeah.
what it feels like.
Yeah, no, I know.
No, I don't. Sorry, I don't feel like them.
You're not 47 yet.
Good for you.
Yeah, you haven't seen the. You haven't
6 months. 6 months.
Okay, wait. We'll have a conversation in
More than
4.
6 months.
6 months? Okay, no, we'll have a conversation
So
in a year.
was the turning point for you 47?
47, I started seeing things happen, like little things here and there. And then you know what it is? Like you'll be lying down in certain positions and you'll be like, what the hell is this? I didn't know my skin could go this direction.
Oh, really?
Oh, God, yeah. Are you
But you
kidding?
have that at all.
No, because I'm at the
fine.
gym every day. Of course, it's because I love it.
She's at the gym every day.
Yes.
No, I saw that skin, but between
Yeah.
your legs when you're like, it starts like crinkling
Yeah.
up, and you're just like, oh, that didn't happen when I was
Yeah.
younger. I'm getting older.
Yeah. You don't look cute in certain positions like anymore. So, you're lying down in certain positions and you're like,
to choreograph the
oh,
position.
You do. You have to choreograph it. Shut the lights. But like
Shutters. lights out.
Yeah. It's not you notice little things, you do.
Yeah, it's true.
And like it's like every year, like you notice something that you didn't notice before.
Oh my God.
And then it slows down and then it speeds up again and then it slows down and it speeds up.
That's what I heard. I heard that aging is like every 8 years or something. It
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like, so then you'll be fine for a while. And then I have the whole vision thing now. I'm feeling it like recently.
Like in terms of reading, when you
Yeah.
Oh, me too. But I keep putting that menu far away, like until I use.
So you don't have reading glasses yet?
No, fuck no.
No,
Why
yeah,
would I
no,
do
neither
that?
do I.
No, I'm just gonna use a selfie stick and keep holding that thing far away. And
I can
read.
see, but like sometimes now if it's really too small, even if I shine
Yeah.
a light on it, it's probably not so obvious like before. Before when I put a light on it, then I can
You could see it, yeah.
But like really fine print.
Well, yeah, you
And
can
I'm-
magnify on your phone. You don't need reading
No,
glasses.
I don't magnify the phone. I'm exercising my
Oh,
my
you
vision.
magnify the messages. And
Yeah, well,
I
no,
don't.
I'm not there yet. No, I'm not but I mean, like ingredients on a label. Sometimes those labels are so small you can't read anything.
Yes, it's true.
Those damn labels. Those damn labels, especially when it's a color on a light color, so you
know.
can't really see the difference.
Or there's 15 languages on one label. It's like just pick a language. And, let us figure it out.
I'm like looking, but I got a magnifying glass when I was in Cyprus. Just
for
in
you.
case.
That's good for you.
I got it for the labels. I don't need it for reading or anything. No, I still, alhamdulillah, I don't need it for reading. But it has to be bright. Like I can't read if it's dark out. I need to increase the brightness on my phone.
I was playing a game of Taboo a few days ago with some people, and I was like reading the card, and I'm holding the card far away, and you have like a minute to like go through all your cards, right? And it took me about 30 seconds just to read the freaking card. I'm like, what is this? I can't read
That's
it.
a fun game.
It is a great game. But there should be a dirty taboo. I don't know why there isn't dirty taboo. Like sexual positions, but you can't say certain words. It was hysterical.
Oh my God, you should make that up. You should do that.
I should. Nobody steal it. It's mine.
69. You can't
Yeah.
say 6.
So-
you can't say
69,
9. You can't say.
You can't say sex. You can't say whatever. What is 69, by the way? No, I'm joking. So, yeah.
I once went out on a date with somebody that was much older.
Yeah, that's true.
But how old were you?
This wasn't long ago. This was a few years ago. He's like 20 years older than
really?
you. Which I was kind of shocked that, right?
Yeah,
Almost 20.
I was in my late 30s actually. I think I was in my late 30s, and he's
It was 60.
at least 20 years older than me, right?
But
Which
I
I
did
thought
that in
was
my
so
30s.
weird.
But I think in your 30s and your 20s, when you date somebody older, it's not devastating. I dated a professor after college, and he was 20 years older. And then I dated somebody when I was 36 who was 20 years older.
It seemed, I'll tell you, was this here or
Well, one was in Michigan, the professor, and one was here.
the one here was really odd because he seemed a lot more uncomfortable than I was.
Oh, that makes sense, though. He was here, right?
He was here. He was.
Yeah, that
and
makes
he's
sense.
much more old school. It wasn't like he was 20 years older than me, but like cool. He was
No, they're not
super
cool about
nice guy.
anything.
Super
He
nice
felt
guy.
like
But he
much
was-
older guy.
But he
Like,
was
I don't know how to
20
explain.
years older, but more like 40 years older. Very old school.
Yes.
Very
Like fuddy-duddy.
traditional.
The one that I dated here, it was the same way. It was like if I was going out with a guy friend, he's like, "Oh, who are you going out with?" And I'm like, "Okay, Dad, what? Let's roll it back. What the fuck's going on?"
Yeah, but and then the last guy, coming back to the point I was talking about way before we started talking about the dick pics. So the guy I was dating, so I had, I felt like this was going to be serious, and it wasn't just like a fling thing. And so I made it very clear to him that I have no intention of having babies, like none.
Why would you? Sorry, Heba.
Exactly.
Trust me,
So
I
thank God
was
somebody
I had
agrees
almost
with
missed
me.
that train, so I understand.
So I made it very clear to him that I don't. And then he got really like verbally serious very quickly, and it was a bit odd for me. Like I like to take things. It's like a bullet train. Sometimes the guys that I date,
You have either this or that.
oh, I have guys
Yours
that are
doesn't have
lazy
any
that
happy
don't want to
medium.
do anything, or they're like bullet trains. They're like going for the kill, and it's just like I'm like, whoa, buddy, let's put our foot on the brake. Let's take it down a notch. And then he started talking about things. I'm just like, you need to really think about the fact that I don't want to have kids. I'm not saying that just to say that.
Oh, this is your ex. Oh,
Yeah.
I meant the older guy. I would be like, why would he want to have kids?
And then what does he tell me? Like, he was away for a few days, and he comes back. So he was like,
This is when you guys were going out. So.
yeah. And so we're talking about it, and he's like, I'm like, have you thought about what we talked about me not wanting to have kids and stuff like that? He's like, yeah. And so he had a whole conversation with himself, obviously, when he was traveling about the whole situation.
Right.
He's like, but then would you mind then you cannot have a problem if I marry a second wife.
What?
Yeah.
Wow, that is funny.
I'm
But
like,
I don't want to be your first wife, hon. I don't want to be your wife.
I didn't
Marry
realize
as much as you want.
And I told him, like, I didn't realize that we're talking about marriage here already. Like, why are we even going there?
So the sex is halal. Go ahead.
No, I mean, he doesn't have an issue with doing that before or after marriage. Like, he's not very traditional in that
Oh,
way.
he's just greedy.
But it's like I'd like to be with you, but I still want to have kids. So you have to afford me the right to have a second wife that will bear me children.
What did you say then? I'm trying to analyze the situation. I'm trying to analyze this.
I told him, I looked at him, I'm like too fast. I'm like, you already have us married and you're having a second wife.
Do you think he?
So I said, I'm like, I don't understand why we're talking about this at all. So
do you think he would have married you and then you would have had a second wife for kids? That doesn't make sense. That's weird.
I was dating a guy who actually wanted us to get married to be physically intimate.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was a new one for me.
That was Orphy?
Yeah, no, marriage.
Marriage?
And we had just met like a month earlier. No. He was older than me by like 7 years.
but married and divorced or something?
He was married very
probably
briefly.
traditional.
No
He's,
kids.
religious?
None whatsoever. He had just become religious, but he's like, we have to get married to do it. And I remember when he told me, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, are you going to sit there or are you just going to be you? Like, be you and say, and so I said to him, I'm sorry, I think you picked the wrong girl. I mean, because I got to be honest about this shit, right? I can't,
sure.
I can't waste time. I'm like, listen, I appreciate your traditionality and all of that stuff, but like, I can't say I'm that girl. That's just not going to happen.
But why aren't you that girl? Is it? Are you not like? Okay, do you need to test drive the car before?
It's not about no. It's not about test driving at all. I just feel like things evolve organically when you start putting rules on what happens and what doesn't happen, especially at our age, right?
Yeah.
It's awkward and it's weird. And usually I find that when, sorry, but this is true, a guy does that, something's wrong. It's not that he's religious. Something's, he's covering something up.
Not only that, I would think that you guys are not aligned. If he's that kind of guy, he's probably not like somebody that would.
No, I think something's wrong. Like it's because guys, I don't know any guys, even the religious ones, who are like, well, we get to hold off until marriage. And he's, come on, are you kidding me? I mean,
maybe he's got this problem.
Listen, I pray too, bub. But yeah, it's not. I mean, I think there are things that are natural that people do when they're together, and the way that relationships are just kind of evolve. But
How long were you with him for?
Oh, that month we ended it. I was just like, but we didn't end it because of that. We ended it because I think he was a bit of a narcissist.
You think?
Yeah, I started feeling there was a bit of a narcissist personality coming out. So I was like, I can't handle this. We're done.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's, and it is funny because you could see the beginnings of, there was the love bombing, and there was like, but then there was suddenly like the punishing would happen. And so it's like, oh, okay, I get it. Well, that's what narcissists do, right? So they love bomb you. And then when you aren't, for lack of a better word, obeying what they need you to obey, or you are kind of falling out of their orbit, they punish you, right? So they withhold love, they withhold attention. You think you've done something wrong. You don't understand what's happening. And so you start kind of like asking them for like, approval and like forgiveness, and you don't know what you've done. And that's how that whole cycle is born.
Wow.
And it's hard to know a narcissist unless you've studied it or you've been with one before or you've seen somebody through it, because you think something's wrong with you and they gaslight, so they make it sound like you're crazy, and you kind of think like, oh, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm making a big deal of things, maybe. Yeah,
men are very good at gaslighting.
Somebody like that. I dated somebody like that, actually.
We all have. Oh God, we all have. It's insane.
So maybe he wanted to marry you because he wanted to control you even more.
I think that's what it was. I really do think that's what it was. And he told me the oddest story one time, and I thought it was very weird. He was telling me the story about a friend of his who wanted to have sex with him and drove up to his building. And, he said, well, she had misunderstood our friendship and I just wanted friendship. And she really wanted it. And this is what the weird sentence was. And the more I withheld it, the more she wanted it. So I said to him, oh, that's really weird. He said, no, it works. I was like, oh,
my fuck.
Okay.
Wow.
That's a slip there, buddy. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I think you're right. I think Hiba, he did want to control me.
Yeah.
Because he's like, we can get married. And he's like, we don't have to tell your parents or your mom, my mom or my brother. I'm like, no, I'm not getting married. Like, behind their back or in front of their faces.
He was withholding sex for...
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, because it works. He said to me, he thought it would get me more attached the more he withheld it, which I just thought was,
bizarre.
Freaking.
A lot of women do that.
I mean, because women are raised to do that. You don't give it away. You wait until you're married.
The flower.
The flower. Oh, look at the flower. Or remember our time when they did those operations where they re-sew the hymen?
Yes.
By the way, it's till now.
Yeah, it's come back. It's
back in style.
It's back in style.
But there's like two ways of doing it.
What's it called? The
sellotape and what?
Revirginization. Revirgination. What is it called? The
revirginization. I've done it naturally. If you don't do it for like 2 or 3 years, it just grows back. Yeah.
Cobwebs. My best friend on the States would be like you go like 8, 9 years. He's like, Mira, there are cobwebs there. I'm just like, Sammy, I'm like, please stop it. But that's it. That's so interesting though. But remember our ex stepmother was a gynecologist, and she actually explained to me the 2 different ways of doing it.
Really? What are the ways to do it?
There's one where you can do it right before the girl gets married, just for show. To make
we can splatter some ketchup onto the sheets.
Exactly, to make it seem like you are. And there's the one that you can do months ahead of time, and that's a lot more invasive. It's a lot
so weird.
I know, it's so weird.
Yeah, that's just it's
but
weird.
Here in Egypt, you have that. The letterman was Wizarة الصحة, the Ministry of Health.
They give a stamp that you're a virgin.
If you jump horses, you potentially not a virgin. You potentially could.
So they give you a certificate saying that you jump horses, not men. Really?
Heard that, Nira?
Yes, you're the one you were with me when somebody told us.
It's supposed to have been back in the 80s or 90s or something. Not anytime now. But by the way,
early 90s,
in the 90s, people came up with such bullshit stories, and there's no way of corroborating their story. So you always believed whatever anybody told you.
Of course.
Because I remember one of this girl once used my story, one experience that I had. She used my story, and so this guy was saying it, and I was like, "Wait a minute." Yes, she recycled my story. I was like, "Wait a minute."
That's my story.
That sounds awfully familiar, but okay, I can let her have it.
Is it the story of the one that I know?
The one when I was young. You remember the 9 or 10 when I fell off in the pool? Anyways, yeah, that was. I had
you two story. I fell in the pool.
I had this really but it was a really traumatic experience. I used to do this really weird thing. We used to do this thing where the rails of the
yeah.
We used to stand on it and dive.
Oh, Jesus.
We used to put like one foot on each, and we used to dive off of it.
The metal.
All the time. And so one time I did it, and I slipped. I slipped, and I landed right on the thing. And then on the side of the pool, I could not sit for 2 weeks.
Oh, that's painful.
I cannot pee
9?
for a week.
Yeah,
you know how
last year.
You know how painful it was, like to pee?
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. Terrible. It was like I was bleeding,
But the doctor told mom.
Because I was 9, it was a long time ago. The doctor told my mother, by the way, she might have compromised her virginity. My mother's looking at her like,
virginized by a pool, really?
So my mother was like,
story I've ever heard.
So my mother was like, I'm not concerned about that, but yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting. I remember the doctor told that to mom, of course. But this was something that, and this is in the 80s.
Sorry, de-virginized by a pool.
It was in the 80s. This was in the 80s.
How did you explain it to your first husband? Honey, I'm not a virgin. It's
Yeah, no, I thankfully I didn't have any conservative.
I straddled a pool.
Yeah,
No
I know.
conservative husbands.
No conservative partners. Is not
My favorite one in the 90s, which I think lasted into the 2000s, was the everything but girl. Remember? She would do everything but sleep with a guy because that was sex.
Oh,
but
yeah,
anything
yeah.
else wasn't
that was
sex.
popular in the 90s.
That was super popular in Egypt. Oh my God, it's everything but girl.
That's still popular.
But no, this generation will do almost everything. But like I remember for us, it's like I'm still a virgin. I didn't do it. I went down on him. He went down on me. And we stuck each other, stuck things up each other's, anuses and stuff. But I'm a virgin. I didn't do it.
Thanks everyone for listening to our episode today, but today is only part 1 of our conversation with Jeneen. So stay tuned for next Wednesday's episode, part 2, where we talk about the same topic, relationships, which seems to be our favorite topic. But we get a little more in depth and get a little more serious about what it's like dating men in the Middle East, relationships, marriages, commitment, and of course, it wouldn't be true to us if we didn't have 1 or 2 outrageous stories. So stay tuned for that. And please send us any of your comments or suggestions on our Instagram account, Who Said What Podcast. Feel free to share anything you'd like, and don't forget to follow and subscribe. Thank you. See you next week.